A new Capitol Hill hearing putting the government's handling of unidentified anomalous phenomena, or UAPs, under the microscope yet again. Lawmakers recently heard from military veterans, whistleblowers, and oversight experts, all warning that secrecy and retaliation have undermined public trust. At the center of all of it, people describing bizarre encounters with objects that outperformed any known aircraft.
Someone would see a light. They would pay attention to the light. And then the object responds, it performs for you. And then they come down and they investigate you. So it's almost like they're curious.
The craft itself was this black metallic flake paint, but on top of the craft was this gold, lava, plasma, some type of fluid going over and around the craft.
And for the first time, lawmakers screened video of a high-speed orb. You can see it at the center of your screen. This was captured almost a year ago off the coast of Yemen. And almost unbelievably, the UAP is hit by a Hellfire missile, but the unknown object is somehow able to keep going. For more on this and what is next, we are joined by NewsNation special correspondent and investigative journalist Ross Coulthart. Ross, always so good to see you. Thank you for taking the time, as always. And let's start with the video. A legendary UFO journalist, George Knapp, had this to say about it at the hearing. Let's take a listen.
That's a Hellfire missile smacking into that UFO and just bounced right off. And it kept going.
It kept going, and it looks like the debris was taken with it.
Yeah, what the hell is that?
Ross, what is your assessment of this footage?
Good evening, Natasha. Well, I can tell you it does raise questions as to whether it is an anomalous object. The debunkers have been trying to suggest that it's just a balloon, but that doesn't wash. They've been trying to suggest it's just a Houthi drone, but that doesn't wash either. I think George has got a point. Frankly, we know there's more footage beyond that footage, which would allow us, I think, to conclude one way or the other whether the object's anomalous. It's part of a huge range of imagery, video and stills that are still held by the Pentagon and by the intelligence community. And we know President Trump made a pledge to be more open and transparent about UAPs throughout the election campaign and indeed post his election. And so far, sadly, Congress is walking back from that pledge. We're looking for the president to make a move, but at the moment, Congress has apparently abandoned, or is looking likely to abandon for the third year running, efforts to bring in UAP disclosure laws that would allow the declassification of these kind of images.
Yeah, it's fascinating. And this is yet another very public hearing surrounding the mysteries in our skies. What is coming out of this? What is happening now? Do you feel that this is a turning point, or do we just keep hitting that wall over and over again?
Certainly, I don't think we're going to see in the current mood of Congress any disclosure from Congress. Frankly, the key politicians in the key committees have been nobbled. Whoever it is that's trying to control them, some people have named Senator Roger Wicker, other people name more senior people in the party. It does appear that someone is intervening from a very high level in government to stop UAP disclosure. And it's interesting because the president made a promise during the election campaign that he would try to be more open about the disclosure of UAP imagery and information. That was a flat promise he's made on multiple occasions. At the moment, that promise is not being fulfilled, and it's quite clear that the legislation we've been promised is again being nobbled.
Okay, and another topic, Ross, I want to ask you about a UFO headline gaining a lot of traction this week surrounding the National Archives recently posting a nearly 22-minute video of the Roswell incident. And this is a photo, this is an image people are just going crazy about. Some say that it shows UFO debris and alien bodies. Ross, what are we looking at here, and what is your take on this?
Somebody's having a bit of fun, I'm afraid, Natasha. This happens all too often. That is a photograph from a debunking book that was written by the US Air Force in the mid-1980s, Fact or Fiction, the Roswell UFO crash. It's not UFO vision from the Roswell crash of 1947. There is no known archival vision that has ever been released of the alleged Roswell UFO crash, if indeed it was one, which I strongly suspect it was. Sadly, I'm sorry, somebody's just having a bit of a fun game with this image. It's a still photograph taken from a US Air Force publication.
I appreciate you helping us separate fact from fiction, as always. Investigative journalist and NewsNation special correspondent Ross Coulthart. And of course, you can watch Reality Check, his podcast. We encourage you to do so. Thank you, sir. Good to see you.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.